disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty.
Watch Johnny's bite.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. We're still in Lent. We're wrapping up. This is the final lap until the Easter celebrations, and we'll have the Triduum Sacrum. That's Muddy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and then we'll also have the Easter Sunday properly done. And also to our Muslim brothers and sisters, keep going on and on and on. Well, the Africa Games has ended. Ghana won 68 medals. We finished at 6th place. We are all excited. Let me quickly send this message out there. That number one, in the beginning, the preparations were poor. Let's not gloss over that, because that has become the bane of the country. Number one, the preparations were poor. Number two, when Ghanaians spoke up, the organizers started doing something about it. All the A4 sheets, all the disorganization, people sitting in car buckets and they not getting their shoe size and oversight, all those things. Authorities started doing something about it. Number three, then we started winning medals because the confidence of the athletes had then now been revived and they were not bruised. Number four, we won even some more medals, and kudos to the arm wrestling team that brought us a lot of it, and our first gold medalist, Winfred Ntumi, and many others who followed after. So we finished at 6th place. We won 68 medals. Kudos to Ghana. But the sad thing is that we are not going to be part of the Paris Olympics. And that is supposed to be the cause of concern and worry to all of us as a people, because we used to be there. So why are we not there this time around? And that mediocrity that we celebrate, where we say, oh, it's now it's an MPP thing, it's an NDC thing, we need to stop it. Because sports is a unifier. So the moment you introduce NDC, MPP into it, you realize that you lose the plot, you miss the plot. People came out to support in their numbers because the organization was getting better. And I have raised the concern. I said, look, put Yao Sechi here, put Mauko there, put in their individual capacities and where they function in the corporate world, they are doing very well on their parochial level. Why do we put them together and literally frustrate them? And we must do a proper debrief session. Because yes, we'll put the professionals there to give the whole program and the whole organization a certain outlook that, oh yes, we have picked the best in the game. Kudos. But do the politicians and the people who call the shots allow them to work? That's a question that we must all ask. Those who are saying it's an MPP win and Nanado, it's never happened before, biggest medal haul. It's okay, it's fine. It is true. But the question is that, did the politicians allow them to work? Because when you, for example, have professionals and you don't allow them to work, you get some of these things. That's the same thing we are translating in our state-owned enterprises, where people are put on boards not because they are qualified, not because they have had work experience, managerial experience, and directorial experience to be able to be on boards. They are just put there because they have party cards and they have been loyal. They went to rally some people to go and vote for a certain party, so they are put on boards. It doesn't make sense. Because in private business, nobody will put anybody who is not qualified on their board. So why do we do that in Mother Ghana? It's a conversation that we must have, as painful as it is. So we cannot gloss over the bad things that happened in the beginning. We cannot gloss over it. We must come and talk about it. We can talk about Anita Eskin's sterling performance. We can talk about it. We can talk about Stoneboy. We can talk about Wiela. We can talk about Shatawale performing. We can talk about all those people. But at the end of the day, we must also talk about what went wrong. That is how to do proper objective analysis. And it is not about party. It is about Oman Ghana, because it is no political party's money that we spent. It's the state's resources that we spent. And if we cannot properly account for it and properly tell the people anything that makes sense, we shouldn't have then spent it. So that's my 2 cents on the Africa Games. Stop the politicization of sports. You have politicized everything, including education. That's why our children, yesterday I asked somebody, says, we'll be home for 2 months, 1 week before they go back. That's 9 weeks of staying at home. Meanwhile, we say free SHS. And we are not even ready to review. Even though we keep announcing that we want to review, we are not ready to so populist in our everything. We are messing up the next generation. And we are all confident and quiet and comfortable. Mamba wa into one kind. Why are we so wicked? We're wicked. Anyway, over the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I had a swell time at the National Theatre, and kudos to George Quay and Na Shoko, Image Bureau, and April Communications. They put me back on stage. I was sitting my somewhere. Na Shoko called me and said, David Donta is not going to be there, so we want you to fill his slot. I said, well, in 2 days. So they put me on as the narrator, and with a great Roland Adom, great Maoli Semevo. We had some guidance from Mr. Fred Amugi. The Honorable Majority Leader Alexander Penyomaki was there. That was actually his favorite book. Niashi Robertson, the internal auditor of the Parliamentary Service, they were all there. Na Shoko as well was on stage. Many other greats. I had a swell time doing this. So thank you to Na Shoko and to all the others who we worked together. George Quay, fantastic actor, Adute, fantastic actor by all standards. You missed if you didn't come to watch, because for 4 times it was staged, and that was going to be the last time for this year, but you missed because Aswading was worrying you, and now it is gone. It's gone completely. So kudos. And I honestly hope that if theatre is giving attention, if theatre is giving money, I'm sure we can do better and rake in some more revenue and stop the borrow that we do. Needless to say, but I have to say it anyway, that the National Theatre needs help. The National Theatre needs help. It needs fixing. I spoke about the National Theatre. They changed the carpet, they changed the chairs, but there's a lot more that I saw with my eyes. Maybe in the coming days we'll talk about it. That the National Theatre needs help. The National Theatre needs focus. So to my good friend Andrew Japamesa, who is the minister now, designate, not approved yet, because Nanado has refused to sign the LGBTQI bill because he says there's something happening in court. Good morning to you, Ejapa. Good morning. Now, this morning, I want us to do a bit of scorecarding, right? Let's go to ICO. You remember I spoke to you about the ICO boss, Dr. Alegibam, Benedict Bonaventure Alegibam. And I showed you a video of how he was talking down to everybody and insisting that nobody can sack him and that he can even question his sector minister. Guess what? This is a letter or a memo dated the 20th of March, 2024. It says, recommendation and extension of retirement, Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Alegibam. I make reference to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture's letter with reference number BH 341/01 of the 2nd February 2024 on the above subject matter. Copy attached for ease of reference. And to confirm and write to inform you that your request for a 2-year post-retirement contract could not be granted. You are also being informed that the 3 months post-retirement contract, which took effect from 7 December 2023, expired on the 7th of March 2024. You are hereby directed to hand over your duties and responsibilities as the manager, director of the irrigation company of the upper regions, and to the next senior manager, officer, a management officer, while steps are being taken for a replacement. Thank you. Honorable Stephen Yakubu, board chairman of ICOR, is a regional minister as well. Dr. Bonaventure, this is a regional minister who wrote this. Keep this on. I know for a fact that Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Aligibam, outgoing MD of ICOR, is still at post. Today is the 25th. They are planning to hold a board meeting with all staff present to talk to them. The same board chairman who has written this and signed, because the minister says we cannot extend your contract, is going to be part of that meeting. Come, disrespectful meeting. I said I know that Mr. Dr. Bonaventure has not handed over his stuff, as this notice is saying. So this is Adanko Dada Aji, Ajana 1, Ajana 2. They've written this to tell the public that they have actually taken a decision to not to allow the man to stay in office because his contract has expired. He has reached the age of retirement and needs to go home and play with his grandchildren. I've told you already that he doesn't want to go because the harvest season is here. There's internally generated funds that are coming in. He's chuffing nyafu because his salaries have stopped coming in. So he's enjoying and he's beating his chest and telling everybody that nobody can sack him. Come to me. Nobody can come to him. Nobody can sack him. The same board chairman, regional minister who is writing this, is also with him begging and asking for extension. You see the Ajana 1, Ajana 2. And they mentioned, in fact, the video I played for you last week, right? Jen, it was last week, right? The video I played last week where he said that nobody can sack him because the people didn't employ him and that if the board writes to him, he would resign. The board has now written to him. He's still at post. Bonaventure Aligiba. Dishonorable behavior in the public space of a senior citizen. Sometimes I hold myself back because some of the things I want to say, you have gone on retirement, right? Domelevo was hounded out of his office, even before he turned 60, according to him. And then we were told that no contract extensions will be given to people beyond the age of 60. But as you read here, he was given 3 months contracts beyond the age of 60. So the government itself cannot be trusted. And that is why the man feels okay that he can talk down at the Agric Minister, Brian Champong. I also West Wogo Mafia. He can talk down to him. He can also talk down to his regional minister, Stephen Yakubu. He can talk down to his union staff. And Dr. Lee, I know that you are planning to dismantle the union before you leave. You say you will destroy them. I'm waiting for you. I have the full minutes of the last meeting you held. Tomorrow, if God touches my heart, I'll put it out there on the show. We must not tolerate the unthinkable things that people do in this country where they have reached the age of retirement and they don't want to go home. And you ask them, what is there? Because I remember so well like yesterday, because I was at the trade fair when Nanado had his last rally, where nobody called me NDC. I remember so well. Nanado said, with the mess that we have found ourselves in, he wishes that the NDC would have apologized, but they won't apologize because the money under the table is sweet. Those are Nanado's words. Today, under his watch, I shall protect the public purse. He can't even stamp his foot on his own words to say we will not give a post-retirement contract. And there's somebody, one old man, who is misbehaving in the name of, I am a strong party person, nobody can sack me, and everybody is watching. People are only writing correspondences. Meanwhile, in any civilized and dignified place, when people are due for retirement, they go home 3 months prior to their retirement. And they are happy going home because they have served their country. They are going home with garland on their shoulders and around their neck. Here in the land of Imofia, I've showed you the retirees who I refuse to go. There's another GES letter. Please bring it up. Director of Education at Hohoi. I told you, madam, I have your picture. I don't want to put your picture up. And somebody called and said, oh, she's your fan. You can be my fan, but don't do the wrong thing. If you do the wrong thing, I will talk about it. Go to the signature. This is also dated the 20th of March. You see the dates? The date in the letter I showed you from another retiree is the 20th of March. This is also the 20th, right? And they are asking people to go and do reading and debate competition, which is a good thing to do. But the question is, the person who signed this letter is supposed to be on retirement. Janet Valerie Dacha. Miss Janet Valerie Dacha. Janet, your namesake. Janet Valerie Dacha. Municipal Director of Education in Hohoi. She's supposed to be on retirement. She retired on the 8th of March. As of the 20th, she's still signing. And the ridiculous thing, one of her acolytes called and said that, oh, you know, we have to take processes before the woman, you are signing. And this has financial implications. Janet Valerie Dacha, outgone Director of Education of Hohoi Municipality. You have no place in that office, madam. Please get out. Take your things and go home. If you are preparing to go to the office today, please don't go. Dr. Bonaventure Alegebam, ICO, outgone Managing Director. If you are preparing to go to the office today, please don't go. And you see, we do these things to the point where we inflame the passion of the people, where the people now will say, we will lock his office because he is not supposed to be here. These I refuse to go people, they are the most troublesome people in the system. They are refuse to go people. They are the most troublesome in the system. And sometimes you wonder what the motivation really is. What are they holding on to? What are they getting in those offices? And why are they not going for the young to grow? Let the retirees go and let the young grow. Janet, look for Dr. Ligeban's photo for me. And I don't know, but the painful part is that you have somebody who has gone past the age of retirement in public service, where the rules are clear, where we have been told that we are in a difficult time, so we can't give anybody contract extension, where young people have been told that, look, we cannot give you jobs. Today, as I speak to you, there are people at the GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, right? They have not been paid for about 3 months. These people are still taking allowances and whatever. 3 months. GRA, they have not been paid. There are people there. 3 months. And it looks like Minister of Education is asleep, snoring and drooling. Minister of Agric is asleep, snoring and drooling. And the agencies under them and the leadership of the agencies under them are equally emulating the bad example, and they are doing that. What's going on? Show Dr. Ligeban's photo. Show his photo for me. Put his photo up there. This is the man refusing to go home. The man who has turned 60 and is threatening people. The man who the Greek minister has written about and asked him that we can't extend your contract, extend you go home. The man who appeared before the Public Accounts Committee and was told that we cannot extend your contract to bring the further and better particulars. The man who the regional minister and the board chairman has written to, he wears African print and he tucks in, appears on national TV. He says he won't go home. This man. I'm putting his picture up there. Madam GES Director in Hohoi, I will put your picture up if you continue to stay in that office, because you are not supposed to be there. We cannot allow such things to happen in the country. It is these same things that happen. That is why the Africa Games became what it was. It's these same things. Madam Janet Valerie Dacha, please go home. Dr. Aligiban, please go home. Go and play with your grandchildren. That's what old people do. If after serving your country for more than 30 years, we are applauding you and saluting you and praising you to go home, don't want to go home, there's something somewhere. This morning, the GES must get to work. I understand that the GES and the Ministry of Education have a big launch today, right? The president will be there. The vice president will be there. The Minister of Education, Dr. Yaduchum, will be there. It's called the Smart Schools, right? The Smart Schools. Generally, if you have that, put up, please. The Smart Schools. Come to me if you can't find the image. The Smart Schools will be launched today. And I sincerely hope that the schools become smart indeed. It will be launched today. I'm told that it will be live on a lot of media outlets. But it will be launched today. And I'm interested in how this fits into the whole digitalization agenda. I'm interested to see how this helps our children to think better, to work better, to explore better. Smart schools will be launched today by His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Dr. Bawumia will be there as well, Vice President, and the Minister, Dr. Yaduchum, will be there. The smart schools. So I'm hoping that it will be a good thing. Because the countries that we go to borrow from, they have smart schools. The countries that we go to borrow from, the countries that we want to learn from, the countries that we want to mimic and emulate, they have smart schools. So there's no debate about having smart schools. But I ask the question, beyond the launch, what will be the implementation plan? I want to hear that today. I want to see that. I want to experience that. I want to feel that as well. So the smart schools will be launched today. And I hope that it will be done the way it will be launched. All the sweet words will be implemented such that I won't have the problem to come and stand here to talk about it and ask questions. No. Show the flyer if you have it quickly. And it's going to be launched at the initiative of the Smart School Project. It's another laptop initiative. Education without boundaries. There's a letter from VRA. Find it for me, please. Quickly, as we wrap up. It's a press release. The attention of the Volta River Authority has been drawn to a publication in the electronic media which attempts to suggest that the VRA is not meeting its power supply obligation to the Ghana market due to excessive export of power to neighboring countries. This assertion, which is attributed to the independent power generators, is not only erroneous but misleading. The VRA wishes to state that since 1972, the authority has been supplying power to neighboring countries without reneging on its mandate to deliver reliable and affordable power to Ghana, and this the authority continues to do. Also, it is important to mention that the allocation of the power generated from the Akosobo and Pong hydro stations is supervised by the Electricity Market Oversight Panel, EMOP, and not the VRA. By this arrangement, the allocation always prioritizes the Ghana market in accordance with government policies to ensure long-term optimization of the nation's hydro resources. The VRA wishes to assure the general public and all other stakeholders that it will continue to prioritize electricity supply to the Ghana market in line with its mandate, government policies, and regulatory obligations. Signed, Corporate Affairs, 24th of March 2024. Come to me. Can somebody tell the VRA to please stop toying with the people? Can somebody please tell the VRA to stop playing PR with the people? If you have enough power, why won't ECG distribute? Because my light is going off. And you are telling me that you are generating enough. So if you are generating enough, why is ECG not able to distribute the enough that you are generating? Already in this country, you have been told that we have excess capacity that we are paying for, that we don't need. How is it that people who have excess capacity of power that they don't need are now in need of power? Does it make sense to you? That we are paying for excess capacity, right? That we don't need. Yet, we are in need of power every single day. Because as I speak, some people's lights are off. This afternoon, some people's lights will go off. In the evening, same. They will sleep in the heat. They'll be frustrated. So when VRA comes with some of these notices and Greco and all of them, I find them as joked and I find them as very insulting to the people of the Republic of Ghana. That you have capacity. Nobody is questioning that. If you have capacity, show your scorecard. If you have capacity and you are still not giving us power, what is the essence of your capacity? Capacity, Ben, no. If you have capacity, and your capacity is supposed to be able to generate power for ECG to distribute the power that you generate, and yet the power that you are supposed to have generated for distribution is not available, how do you say that you have capacity? So are you putting the blame now on ECG to say that you have given them the power, but they are the ones not distributing? And what will it inure? What benefit will it inure to ECG to keep the power that you have generated for them? Sometimes when you write English, sit down and think about it small. Because the people of Ghana, I tell you, they feel very, very, very insulted when they read some of these things. It's actually very, very painful and insulting for us to read some of these things. My light is off. I have paid money. I have credit on my meter. Credit means power. The power is supposed to be generated by you to be distributed by the ECG. ECG is not able to give me power, and they are giving me excuses that my transformer, all of a sudden, a number of transformers have become faulty all of a sudden. And you are telling me that, oh, it's not a capacity problem. So what problem is it? Is it a wisdom problem or a money problem, as we were told in the past? In the past, we were told that there's a wisdom problem and there's a money problem. Now it's become a capacity problem and a transformer problem. Sometimes, credit us with some wisdom and respect. Sometimes, just sometimes. Have a good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717.